Hi, Tony from EM Academy here. A couple of weeks ago, I invited a Facebook expert to our Discord community. There, he talked about how to prevent and avoid Facebook bans and what to do if you get banned from Facebook. Now you will see highlights of that video, which is about 30 to 45 minutes long. Take it away. I would like to welcome Mr. Moose. And he is one guy who has helped me a lot in my dropshipping journey, especially when I had issues with Facebook ban and page scores and so on. Please introduce yourself and take it away.
Thank you so much. Hi, everyone. I'm super excited to be here with you today. And so I'm calling you from Bali, Indonesia. And it's 1 a.m. here, but whatever, we are enjoying the process. So my name is Moose. I've been doing dropshipping since 2018. So it's a while ago. It was 6 years ago, actually. I've went through all the challenges. I've scaled my shop. I got blocked by Stripe, blocked by Facebook. I had all the issues. And then when you start again, the stuff doesn't work as well for comparing to the first time. And you keep doing this process again. So I got super frustrated by all this. I was fighting to find a solution. So 4 years ago, I decided to provide a solution to people to actually get through all those bans. And I've been sharing a lot of advices on social media. Right now, we helped more than 1,000 shops worldwide to scaling their shops without issues on Facebook and stuff. And my goal today, my intention is you leave this call being sure that you won't get restricted during your scaling. Because the worst thing that can happen to you is you scale, you're super excited, you get to whatever, 1, 2, 3, 5K, 10K a day, and then suddenly you get restricted and boom, from a day to another, there is no business running. And then you have to get all the steps done again. And it's just sometimes it can take weeks and you're not even sure that it will win again because the algorithm is a bit up. Even though it worked the first time, you're not guaranteed that it will work again when you're going to repeat it. I know it can sound like, but if I did it the first time, I can do it again. Yes, but once your ad account got restricted, Facebook will be red flagging you, putting some kind of red flags on your account. And when you're going to try to do it again, maybe you get restricted again and maybe something will go wrong and you will have to ask your family member to give you a Facebook account and please give me your profile and open a new business manager, get restricted and so on. So the intention today is make sure that this doesn't happen to you. And once you start scaling, you're scaling for good. I want to share with you the key advices to make sure that you prevent restriction in the future. So you guys know all the classic path. So I will just share the classic path and I will tell you what the main mistakes, the usual mistakes that people go through and how you can actually fix it the most simple way. Okay, so you all have a Facebook profile that you use to connect to your Facebook Ads Manager. So I will write Business Manager. So it's also called as Meta Business Account. So I will add just some Meta here. And basically from that, you have some ad account and you run some ads. So far, usually that's the main thing that everyone goes when you're starting dropshipping, everyone is following that path. And with Facebook, the issue can happen at any stage. The most common one is you're just starting your dropshipping and your ads is not compliant. That's the most common one. Like you're just posting something that's violating the rules. Maybe some before, after, maybe something related to health. Maybe you put too much emojis on your ad. Maybe some stuff like that. Maybe the promise is too big. Maybe it's related to a product that is forbidden to sell in the market you're selling. Like it can be a CBD or it can be some products are forbidden. So you need to know according to the markets. So usually the most common is here, you're violating some rules. So let me write in red. Here, you're violating some rules and you have some red flag, basically. And then this red flag will spread over your account. When this happened the first time, usually Facebook lets you try again. They will just say ads rejected. But when you're a beginner, maybe you will not be so conscious at the beginning and you will do this again. And they will give you another red flag and another red flag. And if this happens, they will block your business manager and then block your profile. And from here, what you might be doing is going for another profile. And the biggest issue here is you're going to do the same thing, but you're going to keep the same ad. You're going to keep the same ad and you're going to keep the same domain. I will write www. All right. And this will lead you to the same problem again. So if this happens, going to ask for a family member is the good thing to do. But what you need to be super careful about is making sure that you have a different ad and a different domain name. That's super important because this will show to Facebook that you are advertising something different, and they will not restrict you directly. But if you do the mistake to have some red flags again, you will have what I call the tsunami effect. So what's the tsunami effect? Is basically every account that you're going to create will get restricted again and again. And obviously, you don't want this to happen.
Ludwig had a question in the chat, actually. He writes, do we see when Facebook is red flagged? When the...
Oh,
or is it just the rejections of the ads?
You don't see it, actually. You will just see ads rejection. And Facebook is very, very tricky because the more you get ads rejected, the less ads will get approved. So basically, you will have less and less chance to actually advertise. And you'll be wondering why this other guy in the program can advertise this, and me, when I'm trying to advertise it, it doesn't work. Basically, this means that your account is flagged. And you have two options for it. The first option, try to remove the red flag by doing better ads that are compliant. Second option, go for a fresh start and start everything from a beginning and make sure to go through the rules, right? So that's how it goes. So basically, when you have all those red flags starting, you want to be very very careful, and you don't want to be repeating the same mistakes, because when I was doing my first shops, I was like, oh, something's wrong, but I copy this guy ad and I will just follow it, and then I insist. But never do that. If you insist, like the guy that you copy have spent millions in Facebook ads or 6 figures or whatever, so his ad account is stronger. His ad account has better trust with Facebook. So obviously he can do these ads, but you should go step by step, get your ad account warmed, and then eventually you're going to be able to run, I would say, more tricky ads. You know, when you see that you have hundreds of approved ads, then you can try to, try some before, after, or try some more hardcore ads, I would say. How do we make sure the ad we create don't get red flag? So let me answer the first question of Ludwig. It's a good question. So what happens first is you need to imagine that the issues goes back first to your ad account. And then from your ad account, it goes back to your business manager. And from your business manager, it can go to your profile. If your ad is too crazy, like let's say for some reason you push some politic ad, your whole account will get restricted. If you, let's say you run hiring ads is also forbidden. You have to follow the hiring category. It will get everything restricted as well. So you need to be careful with that, and make sure that you go step by step, and then you go more crazy on the ad. What you want to avoid, for example, if you push 10 ads in a row and you got the 10 ads rejected, this will send a lot of red flag. You want to first push 2-3 ads, see how it goes, review, and go on and go on. You don't want to have too many ads in a row, and then it will lead to some issues.
Quick question. When you get a restriction, I had a situation with my old business manager. I got a restriction when I opened a new ad account. It was I was kind of fresh in the business. It was a long time ago. So they stated that it was unusual activity. No biggie, I get the picture. But when I need to get a new ad account, a new business manager, to not let Facebook or Meta know that it's me behind it, do I need to open a new Shopify as well? Or because I changed domain names, I changed business manager, the page, everything, and opened just a new shop and started advertising again. But are there any possibilities that Facebook can even see the connection between the owner of the Shopify the store, even the new store, and the new business account?
So the trick here is very simple. What you want to absolutely avoid is linking Facebook and Shopify in the app. There is an app in Shopify, and if you link them, then your business manager and your BM are linked, and then this will cause some issue in the future. But if they're not linked, Facebook doesn't know your Shopify, and they just know your domain name. So if you link them, then you have to unlink first. And if you didn't link them, then you just have to give a new domain name, and you will be fine. I saw so many times that's something that very few people know. But for example, you have a Shopify account and Facebook account that are linked. If you have your Shopify on hold, your business manager, you will see there will be a limitation. They will tell you your business manager is limited. So if you link them, Facebook and Shopify will share some data to give you some kind of red flags on your account. So you want to unlink them. And a lot of people ask me, but how do I handle the tracking and everything? I recommend to use third-party tracking solution. I will write some that I recommend. There is TrackB, there is Retract. There is those solutions that I recommend that help to have some tracking without linking Shopify and Facebook.
I got two questions. Once you get hit by the tsunami effect that you were talking about earlier, is there a possibility to get your BM back, or is it gone?
Yes, it's possible to get your BM recovered. So basically, there is some agencies. We are connected to some of them that have some employees inside that can magically solve the tsunami. Basically, they can control the weather. So this exists. But it's expensive, and I don't recommend you to do that if you're not on a scaling phase in your business. If you're more in a beginning phase, I would recommend go for new accounts and go for a family account, change the domain, change the creatives. If you can, if it's not too complex for you and you're in ease with it, set up a proxy, set up a VPS. VPS is very easy to handle. VPS is basically a computer in the cloud. So you just write VPS and you rent it for $30 a month. I love one that's super easy to use. That's called Shadow. It's very good for one computer use. But if you want a more complex use, there is other services. So your Windows PC in the cloud for all your application. So basically, you have another computer and it has a different fingerprint. Facebook will not relate and knows that it's you.
Is it possible to do it on your own, like get your BM back on your own, or is
it's possible, but it's long.
It's long. Okay.
It's long. You can expect you can recover it. There is two options for you to recover it. Either you're a high spender. What I mean by high spender is the account spent already $1 million.
Right.
Or you are a spammer. Like basically you will contact Facebook every day, and within like 2 to 3 weeks, when you got lucky and you talk to the right representative, the account will be recovered. But again, it's a long process, and something is annoying when you do the normal process. Sometimes the account got recovered, but it got limited. So you need to be careful about that as well. This happens when you manually recover, but anyway, it's a long process. So I will share you some tips to make sure that you guys avoid those mistakes that I see at even high level of advertisers. I see these mistakes happening again and again. So basically what happens is people are not having any backups. So let me explain that real quick. On Facebook, let's say you get through this. You have ads that are getting approved. You're spending budget. Everything's going well. And you passed this red flag area of the beginning phase. Now you're getting to the more like testing phase. Okay. So on the testing phase, what happened is you have some budget spending. You're trying to test some creatives, some different products and everything. And then maybe you have something that start to work. Let me share some mistake that usually happen. So let's do it again. Profile, business manager. I will write meta to make it as simple as possible. Ad account or multiple ad accounts. So I will write the S and then you have your ad. So usually the mistake, there is multiple issues that can happen at that stage. The first issue I would say is you have spending limit. So basically Facebook is not letting you spend. So this can be due to having ads rejected, or you just recreated everything and Facebook need to get trust with you. So how you do to avoid that, you want to make sure that you have zero payment fail. Zero payment fail. Guys, do whatever you want. Create a bank account. Make sure there is always money on it. It's only a card for that. There is a lot of neobanks that propose you to open an account and make sure that it spends. You want to have as close to zero failures. In Sweden, you have access to Revolut. I don't know if it's very popular in Sweden. It's very popular in France, actually. But Revolut is amazing if you can use it. I highly recommend. But you want to make sure you don't have a spending limit because it's super frustrating. You follow the program. You follow everything. You have something winning. You cannot spend budget to make more money. So you don't want this to happen. You don't want this to happen. And this happens way too often. Okay? So that's a very common mistake that I see. Another very common mistake I see is traveling. So this is so common. Oh my gosh. I see everyone making the first box. They go to Dubai, whatever they do, and the profile get banned for suspicious activity. Guys, you don't want this to happen. I'm not saying that you don't travel or anything like that. What you need to do is have some backups. So I will share you some tips to avoid this issue. But a good way would be to give your account to a family member, and once you're away, you just do a team viewer, for example. That's a very simple way to avoid this block that happens a lot. I would say that 30 or 40% that people that travel will have this issue. So be careful about that. How to avoid it without problem, I will try to explain, but I hope you guys will understand because it can be a bit tricky. So what you need to do is have two accounts. So you need to have an admin account and an employee account. So I will try to explain that. So you have one admin. The admin is the one that owns the account. But the key is if this account got restricted, you will have this tsunami effect happening. So you don't want this account to be restricted. So how you should do that? You want this account to do nothing. You need to imagine that this is the boss. The boss is lazy, guys. The boss don't want to work, guys. So this admin should do nothing. He just created everything, but he should do nothing. Who should run the ads? You should have a second account. You should have another account, and this account is an employee. So you need to imagine, so you have your main account that will give access to an employee the rights to run ads. And the good news with that is when you run ads with employee, Facebook is super chill. Facebook don't care because it's like, oh, it's just an employee. Let's say they restrict the employee. No problem. Let's say they ban this. No problem. You can give access to another employee. This is so powerful. And this is the science of backups. If you handle this, you will have less 90% of blocks. If you understand this simple concept of backups, it will change everything. And I can guarantee you that I see people that they're not having the traveling block, they're just having what I call the nightmare block. What is the nightmare block? It's just totally random. It's just you don't have any control. This happens without any reason. Everything goes well. You're running your business. You're happy. You're making money. You're traveling. You're making everything you want. And suddenly, Facebook decides to block you without any reasons. Some people spend millions thinking, oh, oh my God, you know, the thing that can happen a lot with e-commerce is your ego is increasing. And that's a huge mistake. You want to keep your ego very low key. You know, you want to keep it very normal, because when you have very high ego, karma will strike you, you get restricted, and you all right? Another trick that you can do is the same concept. I told you for profiles, but you can also do it for ad accounts. So this is super powerful, because let me give you another one. This is like super advanced, like no one talks about. But so I have my ad account shared right now. So here you see owned by someone else. My account is, and you see it's not owned by me. So this is super powerful. So let's say Facebook decides to block my account. Then no problem. They can block me. I don't care. Because what happens, I just contact my agency and I tell them to share my ad account in my new business manager, my new profile, and boom, I keep all my campaigns. I keep everything that I had on my account is not getting deleted. So this is also super powerful. It's the continuity of the strategy that I showed you before of the backups. If you can also have your ad account shared, you're giving it more security if you get your profile restricted and everything. So let's say I have a tsunami effect on my account, I'll be safe. But I will explain further about this if you want to. So yeah, you need an agency for that, but you can also do it manually. So a lot of people think, oh yeah, I need an agency provider that will give me an ad account for this. Not mandatory. You can structure your business managers to have like a business manager that you never use. I mean, that you never active on it. You create another account, and that ad account, you use it on another account. It works as well, and it reduces the risk of blocks. Well, it's a bit advanced. You're not required to do that at all. Of course, if you use agency ad account, it's even easier. But as a beginner, I will recommend you to first making sure that you have simple backups. This admin employee thing is already game changing, and then just make sure to have ad approved, and you should be all good to go. Tony, maybe you have some reactions. Maybe it's getting a bit complex. Just tell me so I can reframe.
No,
to make
but
sure.
it's okay. When it comes to EM Academy Discord members, we have the range from beginners to those who have been working with us around. So I think the level you have put it right, and this is a good way to go through it. So really good. And even
perfect.
value for me as well. Some of the things, it's a good reminder. So I love it. Great work.
Yes. Great.
Is there a way to see the strength of your business manager?
Yes. Yes, it's possible. Yes, it's possible. So basically, you cannot see directly, but when you ask pretty much any partnered agency, you have a list. I don't have the link in front of me right now, but you know, when you go on your business manager, you can find official Facebook partners, and you can basically contact an agency in your country, and they're going to be able to tell you what's the data inside your account. So yes, there is some tier of accounts. I will show you some example. I have some here. And you can see from there. Well, let me share you this real quick. Sorry. I have some example. Yeah, so it's something like that. I don't know if you guys can see. So basically, it's a bit small in the back, but you need to visualize that it's possible to see what's the data in the back end of your account. And there is a tier of your account. You have bronze tier, silver tier, gold tier, and platinum tier. And the better tier you get, the better performance you will have. So it looks something like that. So here you can see there is some red flags here. Here also you can see some restriction info. So there is a limit on that page. Plus there is some restriction that have some fancy name. In that case, the restriction is called vanilla restricted. But yeah, whatever, it's just Facebook that's being fancy. But yeah, there is a few data that we can see on the account. We can see like live feedback score. We can see the amount of the ratio of ad rejected, ad approved that gives a cheer to the account, etc., etc. Can we just open an account with family member and then give them access? You mean like give them an admin access? You really want to avoid that everyone has admin access, because when you have admin access, it's just going to be tsunami effect. You want to have admin and employees. You have one admin that is sleeping and employees that are working. If you're doing admins everywhere, you're going to get restricted. You want to avoid that, and you will lose 2, 3, 4 major accounts, and that's unfortunate. So you don't want to do that mistake. Can I create a new Facebook account and use that as my employee and use my normal account as an admin? Be very careful. I forget to mention this, and it's a very good question. I don't recommend you to create accounts, because when you create account, basically Facebook has no trust. So it's better for you to go with a family account rather than create. You can go with family account, or if you don't have family accounts available, you should buy an account. It's better for you to buy an account. And instead of buying with a Vietnamese supplier or stuff like that, I don't recommend you this, because most of them, they will hack the account later and they will spend money on your behalf. This is super common. I see that a lot. A lot of people, yeah, buy accounts for $10. Yeah. And then the guys spend money on your behalf, and then you have to recreate everything because your business manager is restricted. Everything is restricted. So you don't want to do that. I would recommend you instead to go in a forum, go in a Facebook group in Sweden, and maybe a student group forum, and you ask, who want to get $40, $30, I mean, 300 kronas, 400 krona, whatever, and I will buy your Facebook account. It's better you do it like that if you really don't have options, okay? Because if you create an account, you will need months and months to warm it up before it gets actually working, and you risk to just have it restricted very quickly. So you want to avoid that. Can an employee get option to pay the invoice and bill? Of course, employee can run ads, they can pay, they can do everything. You can give all the access to the employee, but because you give them the employee status, it will not create a tsunami effect. So that's what makes the big difference, actually. So Facebook is very sensitive whenever you create something. Whenever you create, it could be a profile, it can be another account, whatever it is. Whenever you create, they will be more sensitive. So it works as well for ad accounts. That's why, if you can, I would recommend you to work with agency ad account. It's better, or warm up the ad account. First, go with some legit ads, spend some budget, show to Facebook that you have some ad approved, and go slowly with it, and then eventually go with more risky products, as you said. So I would recommend it like that. But if you want to go all in quickly, agency ad account is a better option.
How do you actually set it up? Because I don't think that I have no clue, actually.
Yeah, it's very easy. You just go on on your business manager and you add a user. You just add a user. Let me get through the more advanced stuff. You guys are asking pretty interesting questions, so very good group. Tony, amazing.
Most was actually a little bit afraid. Maybe there's no questions they don't ask. I say, okay, I promise you they will ask questions, and here you go.
Yeah, of course. So ad accounts. So for ad accounts, obviously I recommend you to use agency ad accounts, because this will make your life simpler. With agency ad accounts, you don't have any spending limits. No spend limit. If you have a restriction, they can move your ad account. That's what I showed you before. So that's very valuable. You have more stability. Sometimes you will see your campaign randomly going up, going high. Sometimes it's amazing, sometimes it's with agency ad account, you will expect the results to be more stable on a daily basis. So it's very good. The cons of agency ad accounts is the top-up system. So that's a bit frustrating, but there is some agencies offering credit card. I can connect you to some. But what's annoying with agency ad account is you have to send them the money first, and then you have the money on your account. So for those who doesn't know what's an agency ad account, so basically you need to imagine that you have your business manager, and there is an agency that is trusted with Facebook that will take your business manager, and they will add to it some agency ad account. And this agency ad account that it will add, it's owned by them. You're renting it to them. So the price range is usually about 3%, usually 3 to 5% according to the agencies. So basically, whenever you want to spend some budget, let's say you want to spend 10,000 in the next few days, you send them the money in advance plus their commission. So if it's 10,000, it's 10,300. And then you will see a few hours later the money appearing in your Facebook account, and you can spend it. The good news about this is you will never create red flags about credit card failures, and you will have stability on your accounts. You have no spending limits. You will keep your account if it gets restricted. I mean, if everything else gets restricted, that make it really, it protects your account. Let's say you lose everything, your account will not be banned because it's owned by the agency. So it's very valuable, I would say. Let's talk about pages. Pages can be a bit headache for some, I would say, advanced people out there. If you rename a page and the page you were not using it for a long time, it's fine. Facebook will be okay with that. You just don't want to, or you're not sure about your store and you keep changing the name every 2 weeks. That's not good, okay? But apart from that, it's all okay. It's all okay.
Now I think it's a limit of 60 days actually of renaming pages for me.
Yeah, actually it depends. Actually, it depends on the pages. It depends on the like some accounts have according to regions it's different. But the easiest I would say is you buy one and you're good like that. And you can buy. So for example, we have a supplier that provides you agency page. So it's a page created by your trusted Facebook agency, and then they can provide the name directly. So whatever name you want, they provide it to you. The page is strong, and you can advertise the first weeks without having other issues, and you'll be all good to go for your testing. So for pages, there is multiple issues that can happen. It's more like in the advanced cases. So let me mention some. You have a page restriction. So this can happen for multiple reasons. Basically, you can it can be ad policy. It can be too much. It's more rare, but it can be like too much moving of the page. Too much, how can I say? Moving, I will write. What else you have? You have feedback score. Feedback score. And you have also yeah, so ad policy, it can be like random, like your page gets restricted for random reason. And you have the very common one also, it's like circumventing. So circumventing or evading. Yeah, don't worry, guys. It will be the last topic, and then we're gonna conclude. We're gonna do questions, Q&A, and then we're done. I will just develop a bit about page restriction. If this is valuable for you, of course. If the audience doesn't have pages restriction, we can skip. But if
no, I think most for myself, and I think many people they get issues with this, and especially with the feedback score, and especially when you're scaling. So I think this is one of the most important parts, I would say.
So the most common one, I mean, the most I would say annoying one would be circumventing or evading. So this happens often. If you get restricted, you create another page, but the system flagged that there is something similar between the previous page that got restricted and the new one. And there is a checklist of everything you need to get changed, but basically the most important is changing your domain, changing your name of the page. Like I see so many name pages that are so close. Even if it's a brand, you can have some options, some get away from this, some options to have a name that is different and that will not flag a circumventing block. Another common one is having the, I will write all the issue, domain, name page. You have also the ad itself, the ad creative. If you post the same ad creative of a page that got restricted before, you will get blocked for circumventing. So there is some easy ways to get through this. You can, for example, use a mirror effect on your ad. So for the customer, it will look like exactly the same, but visually, it's going to be flipped, you know? So it's a very good trick to pass this one.
I usually also put filter on my videos. This is a good way to do it as well. Just a small hint of filter, then yeah.
Filter is also good. Mirror, there is a lot of option, but this will make sure that Facebook don't flag the relationship between your new page and your past page. And you want to be very careful with that. Also, some tricky ones that can, what we said before, having the link between Shopify and Facebook. If you have a link, this will lead you to restriction. The pixel, you don't want to reshare the pixel. I know this is what is it? A misconception. This is a belief that everyone think we can use the same pixel. It's not on 100% of cases that it will lead you to circumventing, but there is a high chance, even you change everything, if you keep the same pixel, there's a high chance you get restricted. So what you might be asking is, what can I keep the same? It's okay for you to keep the same business manager. It's okay to keep the same profile. It's okay to keep the same ad account, but it's not okay to keep all this, okay? So you want to be really, really careful about that. So this is also what's annoying with this. It's not recoverable. This is not recoverable. Where all the others can be recoverable, this is not recoverable. So that's frustrating. Ad policy, this can happen randomly, usually just randomly it gets restricted. So that's for ad policy. For the other one, it's the same. And then you can have a feedback score ban. So that's also very frustrating right now because the feedback score ban takes a lot of time to be recovered. And actually, it's way harder than usual to be recovered. It's probably going to be better in the future. So from experience, we usually recover feedback score bans, but right now it's a bit sketchy. It doesn't work properly. It's fine. The main goal is to make sure that the score stays high, so we don't have to take care of feedback score issue. Before pages got restricted below 2, now it can go until 1 to get restricted. You want to make sure that your feedback score don't get too low, otherwise the page will be restricted and you will have to do this whole process, new domain, new everything, and that's very frustrating. Little fact that some people don't consider is the higher score you get, the better performance you have. So if you scaling and everything is good, if you're at least in green zone, if you have like 3, you're gonna pay your ads cheaper than someone else. Same about what I showed you earlier about the tier of your account. It's always good if you have a higher tier of your account, you're gonna pay your ads cheaper, and so far in the long run, you're gonna be better. So if you know that you're running some products for a long time, or your goal is to build some kind of brand, it's always something valuable to take in consideration, I would say. So that's the solutions for pages. So this, you have employee, this not recoverable, feedback score not recoverable, unfortunately, right now. So yeah, that's what you can do with the page issues. All right, I'm good with the pages. I will take the questions and we'll be good, guys, with everything, and then we can do any kind of questions about blocks. I'll be happy to help about it. That's my Instagram, guys. If you want to drop a follow, you can ask anything, trying to help. Sometimes there's solutions, sometimes they're not, but at the end, we'll do our best to make sure you guys can scale without blocks, and it's part of the process. At the end, We saw some people starting from a small shop to 6 figures, to multiple 6 figures, to 7 figures, multiple 7 figures, having a brand for long term. And then once it's just some steps on the way, and then everything can go not perfectly, but smoothly for a long time.
It was almost 1 year ago you were here, but
Exactly.
till next time it won't be 1 year. We will make sure that you come back and talk with the community in a couple of months again.
That's what I want to say. I see so many people just try to sell a course and blah, blah, blah. And Tony's putting a lot of heart in what he does because he's been doing it for a full year. A lot of people do it 3 months and they just fuck up everyone and they go to the next thing. And Tony has the heart to do it with the best intention, and that's fabulous. And you guys are in good hands, and I highly suggest you to move forward with Tony. And yeah, it's been a pleasure, guys. If feel free to drop a follow in the Instagram if you need anything relating Facebook blogs. I'll be happy to help. My specialty is feedback score. I didn't mention it before, but my specialty is increasing feedback score and bans. So anyway, big shout out to
Moose
Tony.
has helped me a
Thanks
lot
so much.
with one of my brands. My feedback score was, I think, like 2, and it was in this way we came in contact with each other, and you helped me to fix it and scale the product. So thank you.
You're welcome.
I appreciate that.
Thank you so much for having me today as your guest, and it was a pleasure for me to help you guys. I hope you get some value from this, and yeah, see you in the next one. Hopefully, thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Goodbye, everybody.